Welcome to episode 6. We now have a real commercial transaction, not just catalog and pricing data. North Star Retail is buying Edge Protect for 250 endpoints and a one-time implementation service. This episode captures a record at the draft checkpoint. Episode 8 later advances the same post record to support the remaining list. The key point today is restraint. An order is a formal commercial record, but it is not automatically ready to fulfill contract, bill, or renew. We will inspect what makes the record coherent and identify what still prevents its activation. So when we are going to create an order, it has to be in a particular order. We will create the header. Then we are going to add revenue lifecycle management, usage assignment, then add the subscription and one-time lines. Three things make this more than a generic order header. First, it has a customer and selected price book. Second, it has an application usage assignment of revenue lifecycle management. Third, it contains an initial sale, ad action, and product line with selling model. These details let downstream processes interpret the commercial event. If the business later needs an amendment or renewal, it must know what the original sale was, which products were involved, when the service term begins, and what price was agreed. So take for example, we are looking at this particular order. In the related, we have got order action. The type is add. Then we have got two products added. One is Edge Protect, other one is implementation kickoff. Then in the application usage management, we are using revenue lifecycle management. In the lines, we have got these two product lines added. It tells me what is the unit price. And also at the bottom in the summary, we can see the product subtotal and whether any discount has been applied or not. So this is what we just saw, that we have an initial order. The account is North Star Retail. So if I go back, this is the order that is created. Account is North Star Retail. Then we have got the address, bill to contact is Jordan. Then we have specified the date also. And if you look at the header, it tells me who is buying, then what is the status of the order, what is the amount, and the order start date. Now, let's go back. Now, on the related tab, we have application usage assignment. So if I go over here, the application usage assignment has been given a value of revenue lifecycle management. So when Salesforce sees a value of revenue lifecycle management, it tells Salesforce which application context this order uses. It is a small record with a significant purpose. It differentiates a revenue management transaction from a generic order record. When creating an order through the revenue management workspace, this is a part of the supported setup path. If it is missing, stop and repair the transaction context before treating the record as a revenue management order. So this is something that you have to create it manually. Then the other one is the add action. So every line is associated with an order action. So if you open the order, so we have got an order action over here. Over here, we are specifying that it is not an amendment, a cancellation, renewal, a transfer, or a no change transaction. This is of type add. So we have selected add over here. So just to reiterate, when you're going to create an order, two things are important. When you are adding the lines over here, it is going to prompt for the order action. You have to select it type as add. This action may seem redundant today, but it protects the lifecycle story. The same model must later express changes to an existing customer commitment without losing the meaning of the original sale. Now let's look into the subscription line item. So there are two orders which have been added, the two line items. So there are two products. We have got the quantity as 250 for Edge platform, and implementation kickoff is one time, and the unit price is 5,000. Now let's go back to presentation. The 240 list price comes from the active price book entry. The 204 net unit price is the result previously reviewed at the 250 endpoint boundary. The difference is 36 per endpoint or 15%. At 250 endpoint, the Edge Protect net total is 51K. So if we go back over here, we are seeing a unit price of 204. The implementation kickoff line belongs to the same customer transaction, but has a different life cycle. It uses the one-time selling model, quantity one, and a 5,000 net total. It does not have the subscription service date or 12-month term used by Edge Protect. This is a common order pattern. A customer can buy recurring software and a one-time service together, while each line carries the data that its own downstream processes. Now, if we go back this first, so the total is 56K. So go to lines. Over here, the total is 56K. So the total ties the header to the two line level promises. It is not an invoice, recognized revenue, or a billing schedule. It is the value of the commercial order. Whenever you validate a transaction, reconcile the header total to the individual net total. That catches missing lines, accidental quantity, and the price inconsistent early. Draft, so order can be active or draft. So draft prevents an incomplete commercial record from being treated as a completed operational unit. So when you're creating an order, you will create it as draft. And we are going to activate the order in the subsequent episode. Before submission, a team needs approved pricing execution, relevant transaction permission fulfillment, orchestration, lifecycle rules, and the billing design. Let's go back. Now let's look into the lab. So this is the lab that we have. In this lab, we will make sure that we are going to create an order. So if we have to create an order, you will go to orders. Let's take, for example, we have got this particular order. Over here, you go to related. You will say add products. You will select the product over here, edge platform, say next. I'll say quantity as 250. And let's say so we have added the order over here. If you're looking to related and refresh, so we have got order action as add, order product, and then we got application usage management, revenue lifecycle management. Let's go back. So we are going to create the draft order. Then once the draft order is created, then we are specifying what the value should be. Then these are the line items which have been added. So let's go back to presentation and let's recap. The cumulus order connect customer, price book, transaction context, action, product line, subscription term, and the commercial total. So it was a draft transaction in episode 6. It is now activated, assessed. In episode 7, we'll prepare the subscription lifecycle by examining contract and asset prerequisite. We will preserve the distinction between what the customer agreed to buy or what the company has actually delivered.